You're listening to the sound of the 80s with the Old Skool Movements podcast.
Yes, hello, welcome to another episode of the Old Skool Movements podcast. As you can hear, Chris is coughing away there. He needs some tunes or lockets. What do you guys have in the US? What's the different version you have out there? Now, everybody knows that you got a cough. It's that time of year because it's kind of chilly out there. You can't avoid it. You're only human. It happens to us all.
It's true. Summer's done.
Summer is truly done for this year. But somewhere in the world, it could be hot. You could be listening to us right now, laying on a beach and going, ha ha, guys, I'm baking and you lot are freezing. And Chris has got a cold.
Yeah, good. Weather has turned.
It has turned indeed. So, guys, we're going to go back. So, we're going to do our Let's Talk About. This is where we talk about a certain year in the past. And this year is a very exciting one. We did 1987 last time. But now we've got another interesting year, lots of movies, lots of films, lots going on the Old Skool Movements podcast. So, Chris, what was this year all about? Because Stax and Leroy don't know what year this is. So, what happened this year, man?
We're trying to set the mood a bit. You know, it was a good year, man. I like this year, man. It was the year of Super Bowl 18, the LA Raiders beating the Redskins. It was the year that Michael Jackson's hair caught fire, filming a Pepsi advert. It was the first time they done an untethered spacewalk where they actually used jetpacks, like out of Moonraker. It was that year.
Like at the beginning of The Fall Guy. Remember the beginning of The Fall Guy?
Yeah. The jetpack. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was it. That's where they got that from.
Remember that bit?
Oh, man.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell you see him flying. But yeah.
It was the year Torval and Dean when they smashed the best score you could get and won gold at the Winter Olympics. Spitting Image first came out, UK TV. Lionel Richie was in the charts with his huge hit. I was going to say something else, and his huge hit. Huge hit, Hello. He could have been in the charts with that as well, but I don't know.
Hello? Is anyone else in the toilet?
That's exactly.
If it's a huge one of them, you don't want no one else being around. Anyway.
No one else being around. I just got to let you know.
I'll go in there for 20 minutes. So. Have you guys get to see it yet?
They got it yet. They got it. It was the year. It was a bit sad as well because it was the year everyone remembers this. The great comedian Tommy Cooper passed away, but he passed away live on stage while on TV. Had a heart attack and fell through the curtains. Just his feet were sticking out. And one of the things that stuck out for that year. Another big thing that stuck out for this year. One of the reasons I like it is the first Summer Olympics that I really got into and really watched. And again, LA Olympics, 23rd Olympics. The year Zola Budd run barefoot and bumped into Mary Decker. Yeah, it was that year. And
is it coming to you now, Leroy?
Yes.
Seb Coe won the 1500 meters. Steve Redgrave started his 5 consecutive golds, winning his first gold at this Olympics. And Tessa Sanderson, the first black athlete to win a gold in the javelin.
Yeah.
And she had a great rival at the time. Like, if I was to say to you, if you were to pass wind in a pint of bitter,
Fatima Whitbread.
Fatima Whitbread.
Exactly.
Yes.
Daley Thompson was also a star in there, and Carl Lewis.
So what's the year, Leroy? What's the year?
84, man.
84.
Yeah, man.
There you go. 1984.
The year Ocean released the Daley Thompson game as well. We all loved that
Daley
game.
Thompson's
Based on the old
decathlon.
track and field with a button bashing, but decathlon was a wicked game. On the Spectrum,
84.
I think. I had it.
Yeah, man.
84. We got a lot to go through in 84, as I said at the top of this, films, TV shows, and a lot more entertainment from that fantastic year. What a fantastic year it was.
Lots happened, yeah. Lots did happen.
Yeah, so shall we start on entertainment? So we're going entertainment, right? So where are we going to go, Chris, with this?
Should we start with some movies?
Let's start with some movies, man.
This is interesting because I can't remember a thing.
It was the year Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and the late Harold Ramis all starred as scientists ridding New Yorker ghosts. Loads were happening. It was also the year Gremlins come out. And we had Patrick Swayze's Red Dawn was the first PG-13 film in the US as well this year.
Red Dawn. I used to love Red Dawn.
That was a wicked film, wasn't it, man? That was good.
Love
You can
Red
see why it got the PG-13 and it weren't the average kids adventure film sort of thing.
Stacks, you know what we're talking about?
Nope.
It was really good. Yeah.
Stacks looked puzzled. For a minute, Stacks thought it was Red Dwarf. He's like,
Red
oh no.
If you ain't seen Red Dawn, it's well worth a watch. It's what's it? It's about East versus West sort of thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't tell Stacks to watch it now. It's the 80s. It's not. We should have told him this 35 years ago. Tell him to watch Red Dawn now. It's not going to work. You should have been there. You should have been there.
It was good.
Because it was different for the time. Every other film, like this is the time you had Goonies and there's kid adventure films, and this was like, they're kids, but it's something different. It's like mini Rambos. It's like kid.
Really?
It's true.
It's just kid Rambos. This one is, and like it had that edge. This is this is when you learnt the edge, of films. Like there's middle of the road films, but then there's the edge. And Red Dawn was the edge. As a kid, it was the edge. You used to sci-fi and fantasy and never-ending story and stuff like that.
The cover wasn't appealing. I don't know how we got to see it. It was one of them ones that just sort of popped up out the blue sort of thing. You stumbled across it. You were like, man, that's a really good film. But there was nothing to draw you into it. The cover wasn't good. You didn't really see any trailers for it. But that was a good film. I liked Red Dawn. It's also first year I saw Tom Hanks in Bachelor Party.
Bachelor Party, man.
That was a odd film at the time, I think, for the age where it was like, okay.
You guys remember Bachelor Party?
Yeah, I remember it.
I don't remember Bachelor Party.
As Chris was saying, like
I remember the film. I remember the name, but I've never watched it.
I think it was before Splash, so I think it was the first time I saw Tom Hanks in a movie.
I'm sure it was. Yeah,
and looking at it now, do you guys think between him and Stephen Guttenberg, they were getting cast for the kind of same things, but one beat the other? Do you know what I mean? Because he could have easily been in Police Academy, and it could have went a different way. Do you know what I mean? It's
very
now
similar,
thinking of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Bachelor Party was again the edge because growing up as young kids, me and Chris used to, and all of us, the back of the catalogue, you know what I'm talking, what zone I'm getting. And like, if there was a slight adult movie laying around, you had to bring Impossible, but this was like Porky's with edge level. Remember the end days you had Porky's, Nerds, Revenge of the Nerds, and this came about. And the cover wasn't too saucy, just a load of guys coming through a door.
Coming through a doorway with a donkey.
You could grab that, and your parents ain't going to go, what's this? Tom Hanks ain't well known. No one, it just says, you know what I mean? Okay. Remember, this is the early days of, what's that thing, like The Hangover? Maybe it's an 80s hangover.
Yeah.
And so, we're watching this film now. And remember the madness that went on in this, Chris? Like, donkeys doing drugs and stuff. Remember, they got a donkey.
They got a donkey in the party.
Donkey took pills.
And, some pills.
And like, but the disappointment was, I don't think there was enough boobs in it. But we still ended up watching it because of the comedy element of it. And we went, okay, we're into adult comedies now. Yeah. We came for boobs and ended up laughing, which is kind of all right. It kind of balances itself. And we watched it. We watched it a couple of times as well.
A few times of it, yeah.
There were certain scenes that would make us laugh that you would forward it to. So and I think we got away with it. I think we got away with it. I think our parents didn't go, you can't watch this no more. I think we got away with it.
We got away with that one. So, it was a highlight of the year, that one.
Bachelor Party. Yeah, it's fun. Again, Stacks, you don't need to watch it. It
was for the time.
It was for the time. Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, all of that.
But there was 84 was such a good year. You had both the breaking films. You had Beat Street, follow up to Cannonball Run.
Oh yeah.
I loved Cannibal Run.
Woman in Red, another great comedy. Yeah. Last Starfighter. This goes on. There's like Top Secret, one of my favourite Val Kilmer films.
I think it's one of the first things I saw him in. Yeah, between that and Willow, but I think it was that.
Yeah, I think it was that too. Yeah, I like Top Secret. That was funny for the time.
Yeah, there was jokes in that.
Yeah, that was good. So there was so many films, but I think while Ghostbusters turned its lead actors Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd into superstars, they were both from Saturday Night Live, and there was another Saturday Night Live actor already a household name. You'd seen him in 48 Hours, seen him in Trading Places. But as Axel Foley in his first solo lead role, Eddie Murphy, you know, it shot him to Hollywood superstardom, man.
Yeah.
That film became the top grosser of that year, and he became a legend, didn't it? After seeing Beverly Hills Cop, was that one of them? Did we see that at the cinema? Did we sneak in to see that somewhere, or was that a rental one?
No, it was rent. I just remember seeing him sitting on the car, a video copy. I remember a video. It's a video.
It was a video
because
one back in
because
the day.
we ain't. If we tell our parents we're going to see Eddie Murphy film, they know what that's about. You ain't getting past that one. You're not getting past that. Like from 48 Hours, it was a wrap. Like you couldn't.
You shouldn't even know who that is. Eddie who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Eddie the Eagle, you should know. Eddie Grant, but not Eddie Murphy. He's not for you. Not till you're 18.
But that's it. Seeing Beverly Hills Cop. That was a wicked film, man. I love Beverly Hills Cop, man. It was good from the soundtrack. Everything was good about that.
But and as you say, 84 was the time for, you know, as you say, you know, Dan Aykroyd and all the Saturday Night Live cast and stuff, and comedy, American comedy was coming in big.
It was getting good,
but on TV you had the long running program Soap. Remember Billy Crystal and that you had long running the Golden Girls and Taxi, even spin-off of Soap. Benson. Comedies, different strokes. It was like TV was being filled with comedy, but Cheers, and then film started to go, okay, you know, we're going to put this, you know, on the silver, more comedies on the silver screen. The 80s was king of that. As we said, Bachelor Party, we was looking for boobs and found comedy. That's a great one. But with Beverly Hills Cop being such a great movie in 84, there was another great movie that hit the scene that I really wanted to go and see in the cinema. Never got to see it. I remember seeing the trailer, having a laugh and seeing all these different characters. And that's Police Academy, man.
It was almost sort of aimed at kids, but you knew, like, I can't go and see this.
You can't see this. You can't see this.
That was one of the best comedies of the 80s.
Just like Beverly Hills Cop. So with saying that,
style though.
In a Porky style, Porkies, we're gonna match the verses, guys. It's Beverly Hills Cop versus Police Academy. What you guys say, man? Beverly Hills Cop or Police Academy? I know it's hard, and it might be easy just to say Beverly Hills Cop, but when you think back to Police Academy, you go, you know, Hightower, Jones, Mahoney, Callahan, so many. Huckleberry.
You'd watch it with your mates, but that first time it'd come on with your parents, like, it'd be, okay. You'd forget about some of the scenes in it. And then there'd be certain scenes, like the speakers plinth bit, and it was embarrassing on many levels.
Yeah, I remember that bit.
So Beverly Hills Cop versus Police Academy, man. As I say, mate, there's so many people get. Leroy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, so tonight, Matthew, I'm going to view this Gunter Campbell from Super Grand because this is going to be controversial. Okay. I didn't like Beverly Hills Cop, man. I know, and it's going to shock the whole world. What you talking about, Willis, Arnold? I know, it's shock horror, but I couldn't stand it, man. I tried. Beverly Hills Cop. I couldn't. I didn't like it. Out of all the Eddie Murphy films around that time, I just wasn't a Beverly Hills Cop fan. The only thing I liked about that was the Axel Foley tune, the theme tune. And that was it. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. Okay. So, who's going to lay into him first? Because I do not understand how this film didn't touch a nerve in your young self of seeing this guy, Eddie Murphy. He'd made films before this, and this was the icing on the cake movie.
He was lead role now. It was all about
Eddie. What?
You're stuttering.
I sound like a helicopter now.
Helicopter in slow motion.
What? You sound like Wazim from Delbert Wilkins show. Well, what Wazim? If anyone used to watch that show.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Please explain. I've never heard this in my life. This is something really new to me.
Was it a story? Was it the character? Is it Eddie? What was it that you just?
It just wasn't. The film wasn't for me, man. It was just
what? What wasn't for you? I don't understand.
No.
Wait a minute.
The scene was wicked.
What Eddie Murphy film do you like?
Okay, The Golden Child. Trading Places. The Best Defense was whack.
Yeah.
Coming to America, obviously. Harlem Nights.
What do you mean, obviously? Beverly Hills Cop should be obviously.
Yeah.
Not obviously. He made 3 of those washed out.
We're talking about Beverly Hills Cop. We're talking about Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, just the
first one.
What Eddie Murphy films do I like? And I told you, the ones that could rival Beverly Hills Cop. In your, all 3 of you that are rushing me.
No. You're missing the point. You're missing the point. You said Coming to America, obviously.
Yeah, because it's a big film.
Beverly Hills Cop is in that same bracket. It's the same bracket of obviously.
Well, okay, fine. Fair enough.
Do you like the vampire one that he done?
The Vampire in Brooklyn. Are you crazy?
Exactly. So you're putting his worst films with Beverly Hills Cop. This is in the same. You're putting Beverly Hills Cop in the same bin.
Harlem Nights is not a terrible film. It's not a worst film.
It's not Beverly Hills Cop.
Coming to America is not a worst film. Okay, Beverly Hills Cop should be better than Golden Child. Yes, that's better.
It is to me because Golden Child ain't got the swearing part of Eddie.
Yeah, I'm not saying what you should like, but I just want to understand what you don't like. You don't like Beverly Hills Cop. That's fair enough. But I just what don't people? I've never heard this. It's like you come from another planet. Who doesn't like Beverly Hills Cop? And you guys understand this?
It's quite shocking, you know.
It's literally blown my mind.
I've gone into villain mode. The Scunter Campbell from Supergram because I know you lot wouldn't like what I have to say. I wasn't feeling Beverly Hills Cop. Not 1, not how long does it take to shave your legs. Number 2 and number 3 was whack.
Forget the others. We're talking about Beverly Hills Cop. We're not talking about. Remember, we're in 1984. Just stay there, 1984. And don't do no gestures if you don't like. You're not allowed to make Eddie Murphy gestures. If you don't like the film. No, stop. You sound like you're drinking a big bottle of Gatorade.
If it makes you happy, I like the banana in the exhaust pipe bit.
Tailpipe.
If that makes you happy.
No, I'm not asking you to make me happy. I just want to know why you didn't like it. I don't mind if you don't like it.
It just didn't resonate with me. I just didn't like the film. And I still don't like the film.
Okay.
The only bit I like is the Axel Foley theme tune.
Okay. I'm mind blown. We need to talk about this later. Police Academy.
Off air.
Off air. You need to see me in my office on Monday.
Stacked in the morning. He's getting stacked in the morning. Stacked in the morning.
Police Academy, Leroy. Police Academy.
Yeah, that's a film.
It's turning into. I almost said Please Academy because I want you to be positive. Please Academy.
No, Police Academy. I watch that all the time.
Okay.
That came on Channel 4 the other night, and that is a film I'll watch over and over and over continuously.
Yeah.
Again, but if I'm pitting it against Beverly Hills Cop,
you're going to say Police Academy.
I'm saying Police Academy all day long, and I can't stand Beverly Hills Cop. Let me just reiterate that.
No, you don't know.
Hear me on the
we've
next
heard
podcast,
it enough.
I know you know why, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you don't hear me on the next podcast, you know why. I've been sacked.
Because he likes Police Academy 1 to 6. Wow.
Hey, mate. You need to see me. You need to see me Monday morning, mate.
I will do, sir.
Chris. Beverly Hills Cop, Police Academy.
Mate. Both wicked films, but sort of kind of different because one was like you say the porkies of the police film was the Police Academy, and at the time when they made that, they said this ain't going to do any good because it's not saucy enough. You need to add more nudity, more tits and ass, and make it bigger, but they didn't want to. They wanted to keep it sort of on a level where it was just, you could just get away with it.
On the edge. Word of the day.
On the edge. Word of the day. But the cast, man. Michael Winslow, Steve Guttenberg. It was with Kim Cattrall. First time you're seeing Kim Cattrall. It was good. It was good. But for me, it's definitely, I was more excited for Beverly Hills Cop at the time because, already you're knowing Eddie from them other films we mentioned already. But now you've got him full on screen in full fucking effing this mode and having the soundtrack with it as well. It had some wicked tunes in it, man. And I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the cast. I thought it was all good.
So for you, it's Beverly Hills Cop all day.
I'm choosing Beverly Hills Cop. I think we spoke earlier. Do you remember? Did you say before that they were originally trying to get Stallone to do it? Actually, Stallone was cast for it, and he changed all the scripts and everything at one time. It was very close to him being Axel Corbretti, which I think that would have been a bit of a disaster.
And that's one, but it got made into Cobra.
It got made into Cobra. Yeah, he ended up using the spin-off for that. Yeah.
Stacks, what are you saying?
It's just a tough one, you know. This is
See,
tough.
even Oscar is agreeing.
Hey, you're Oscar now, mate. After that.
Still sneer that one, man.
He's Leatherface now. That's just wrong.
I got
XXX. Oh,
he was a vice.
I've got the Cylons as backup. Yeah, man. With this decision, I've got the Cylons as backup.
Stacks, what are you saying, man?
It's hard to. I don't know if I can choose. It's a tough one.
If you had them both in your hand, VCR copies, which one are you putting in VCR?
If I'm looking at the front cover, of both of them, and it's got. If I'm going by the cover, I'm going Beverly Hills Cop.
I used to like the Police Academy cover. There was a lot going on though.
Yeah, there was, isn't it?
He's got that jacket. He's got the trainers and he's on the front. Yeah, but it's just that look of Eddie Murphy on the front on the car.
But it was shot at that good angle as well. So wicked cover.
You look at it, you're like, I want to see this. Do you know what I mean? And it was a good film. There was jokes in it. There was serious parts. Man. But Police Academy, again, big film as well. The beatbox dude,
Michael Winslow.
When you heard that for the first time, that was just like, wow.
When you heard,
do you know what I mean?
He's good live as well.
Yeah.
He's funny live.
We tried to get him on the show. If you listen to the show, Michael, you need to come on it. We need to speak to you.
It's true.
Yeah, Mr. Winslow, please.
Definitely. If it help get him on the show, I'll choose Police Academy.
Choose Police Academy, yeah?
If we can get Michael on the show.
I know. I'm going to go Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be Beverly Hills Cop, man. It's a good film. It's a good film.
And what are you saying, Dan, of sure?
It is a hard choice. Like as you say, the front covers, Eddie Murphy's in his mode now as him, Beverly Hills Cop. But the Police Academy cover, I liked busy covers.
Yeah.
Growing up, we're used to the Star Wars cover. It's busy. Indiana Jones, it's busy.
It was a good
Condor
cover.
Man, it's busy.
Yeah.
Every cover was busy. And the Police Academy one, if you looked at it carefully, you see the fishbowl, you see this going on, you see Callahan, you see all different people, you see Tackleberry with guns.
Tackleberry's big 45.
And the whole font of Police Academy, it was great. It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so but I love the jokes that Mauser gets played on, or the little guy that was in Mannequin. What was his name? And I remember, like, the trailer came on TV of Police Academy, and I don't know if you guys remember it. It was, the Watershed. There wasn't a Watershed in the 80s, but this advert came on later, like about 8 o'clock or something, AM. And there was the advert ended. I don't know if you remember. The advert ended when what's his name? Mauser? Mauser or Proctor? Whatever his
Captain
name.
Mauser.
Captain Harris. That's
Captain Harris. Yeah. Miser was in 2.
Yeah, the trailer ended when Captain Harris was flying to go in a horse's ass, and Police Academy coming soon. Yeah, it ended there, and it made you go, "Wow, what happened there?" Then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I remember, my parents laughing at that, and I figured, okay, this must be, something to watch. But from the back of Eddie Murphy's work, it's probably Beverly Hills Cop for me. Probably Beverly Hills Cop. Just to hear that Vanity song, if you think I'm a nasty cop, and just to hear that,
that's a tune.
So yeah, for me, it's Beverly Hills Cop. But just a little fun fact there, the second Venom film, the clothes that the character wears in Venom are the exact clothes Eddie Murphy wears in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Really?
Yeah. He wears a Mumford t-shirt, which Eddie Murphy wears, and a Detroit baseball varsity jacket. Same clothes Beverly Hills Cop 2. So it must
check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It must have been but it was directed by Andy Serkis, the actor in Black Panther, Lord of the Rings, Gollum. Yeah. So he must have had some kind of homage to Eddie Murphy, but he wearing exact clothes that Eddie Murphy wears in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop 4 coming out next year. Anyway.
Yeah.
Still wearing the exact same clothes.
Yeah. I'm still driving that blue Chevy. TV shows, Chris.
TV shows. There was a good selection of them.
Yeah, what TV shows was there?
And there was a massive selection. Airwolf.
Oh,
come out that year.
Airwolf.
Blue Thunder.
Major, yeah.
If you like the other helicopter, come out that year.
Oh, Blue Thunder. That was like GoBots versus Transformers.
Yeah, it was Transformers come out that year.
We touched on Blue Thunder one in our podcast, and we did. No.
Transformers cartoon come out that year as well.
Yeah, that was the year of Transformers.
Like I said earlier, Spitting Image. Yeah, Spitting Image for the UK. There was a few UK things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crime Watch, first ever Crime Watch come out in this year. Duty Free was another one, big popular.
Duty Free.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Fresh Fields and Big Deal.
Fresh Fields.
Crime Watch. Did you guys ever get scared after they said don't have nightmares?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, man.
Back in them days of that, yeah. You had to watch something else. You couldn't watch that and go to sleep. You couldn't watch that and go to sleep. You had to watch something else.
Nightmares from that. Freddie's giving me nightmares already. I don't have to worry about Police 5, mate.
No, Freddie in my head, it's like I know that's an actor. Crime Watch, I'm thinking this is real. This is real shit. There's a man out there. There's not a man out there. It was a bit scary sometimes, man.
Especially when they showed photo fits. So you're like, I might know him.
Yeah.
But the bit I loved, it was like Tony Hart's The Gallery when they showed you like crimes, like
all the different
CCTV stuff. Like this happened in Halifax, in Wiltshire.
The grainiest video of the 80s.
Yeah,
you can hardly see it.
Post office robberies and stuff like that. And do you know this man?
Back in them days, banks and post offices were getting robbed.
They were getting done.
Yeah.
Trains were getting done.
Yeah, they're on Crime Watch a lot.
Yeah.
Missing Hornby sets and stuff. It was like people were robbing people for anything in the 80s. People were, and Crime Watch was your bulletin station to find out who was getting robbed in your local areas. So yeah, 80s had a lot. Also, 84 had Manimal and Automan.
Oh man, you're joking.
Oh,
mate.
Wow, those shows.
Airwolf, Manimal, Automan, big programs.
Big. But you know what?
All Airwolf as well, and
all the shows we've mentioned were kind of like kid friendly, but you had toys of that, transfers of it, coloring books of it.
Yeah.
But also, adults needed something too. Adults needed to watch something. Do you know what I mean? And they needed to watch a little crime, a little something going on. But you got to remember, we're of that adult age now. We're watching Mandalorian, and we're still getting into action and stuff. So imagine in the 80s, that still had to comply. So, these two programs, mega watch. All four of us mega watch these programs, one in particular. So we're going to pit them against each other. Both come out in 1984. One come out in 83, actually, as a mini-series, but launched off into space as a series in 84. The other one was a duo. They look like the duo behind Stacks. So we're competing. We're versus Miami Vice versus V.
Oh,
two big shows.
That's hard, man.
I already know. No, do you know what? I already know where I'm going with that.
It's a hard one. I know where I'm going too, but yeah.
I know where I'm going with that straight up.
That's hard.
Okay, Stacks, you know where you're going. Where are you going, Stacks? Okay, people can't see you put your fingers up.
I know.
He's giving us the V side.
Okay.
When I first saw V, it was I never seen anything like it. The only thing I liked about Miami Vice was the car.
I knew he was going to say that.
And I didn't really get to stay up late. For some reason, I was up late enough to watch V, but not up late enough to watch
both them late night shows.
Yeah, they were both late nights.
184 has some bangers, man.
Some wicked bangers, man.
Leroy, what you saying, man?
I've got to go with V. V was groundbreaking, man. Like you said, we should have been all in bed, but somehow we got to stay up. I know I got to stay up to watch V.
Yeah.
And V, Diana, big up, female villain. She was, boy.
Good. Another one. She needs to come on the show. We've we tried that a couple of times. She's got to come on the show. We need to get hold of her.
Man, it was a good show.
Good.
Yeah,
it was good.
Very good.
As for Crockett and Tubbs, like Darren said, it was on late. But for me, I don't know. There was just something about it. Good clothes.
It was bright and colourful as well.
Fast cars. But some episodes really failed for me. But I'm not going to knock. I'm not going to knock Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Still iconic
It is.
for me.
It was, yeah.
So you choose V. Chris, what are you saying?
V.
It's a hard one, man. I want to choose Miami Vice, but Miami Vice as a whole, like the car, the clothes, the music, the cameo appearances, you know, from George, it was Boy George, to Phil Collins, to the Fat Boys. I remember them being in one episode. Like, there was good things about it, but it was a struggle to watch a whole episode, and sometimes it was a little bit too deep for me at that age. So I really want to say Miami Vice, but I've got to say V, because it was everything you wanted in a show, and to be on every week. It was, you couldn't wait for the next episode.
Yeah, for real.
But I love Miami Vice too.
Proper cliffhanger. Yeah, for me, I would say, but like V, Miami Vice had everything in another way, because the 80s was the birth of the black and white partnership. 48 Hours, Rocky, Lando, Han Solo, you know, Lethal Weapon,
Chips.
Well, yeah. Chris and Darren.
Chris and Darren. Morph and Odie. So now you've got a series of a black dude and a white dude fighting crime, and that didn't happen a lot on TV.
Spencer for Hire.
Did he have a black guy in it?
Yeah, Hawk.
Okay.
His name.
Was he his mate though? Did he sit in the front seat with him?
Yeah, Spencer for Hire.
But they had to sit in the same front seat together. They had to be
equal part.
Yeah.
Don't let me go to Bill Cosby and Robert, what's his name in I Spy? Anyway.
Yeah. But talking of Bill Cosby, do you remember in V there was a black guy that looked like Bill Cosby in the second season? I know he's hanging out with Diana. He's hanging with, and I had to double take, guys. You listening, guys? Yeah. Remember the second season? Did you double take? And go, is that Bill Cosby?
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, it does ring a bell.
Anyway, so yeah, that black white partnership was Chips. You know, that black white partnership was there. Phil Collins, Phil Bailey. That black white partnership was there. Yeah. So
the guy from Chips was going to play Crockett originally. But
which one?
It wouldn't have worked.
The white guy, and then the producers were like, you know, we're taking him from one cop thing to another. You know, the fans are not gonna see him as Miami Vice. They're still going to see him as Highway Patrol. So he got sort of dropped.
Yeah, did you guys know that the guy in Chips? Yeah, he's the dad of Chris Pine, the guy in Star Trek, the new Star Trek movies.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Joking,
man.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you had this black and white partnership, and so to watch it weekly, good. I love the music. The beginning reminded me of Hawaii 5-0. You remember how wild it was? The camera, you seen asses shake.
Was wicked. That wicked.
That whole
palm trees, the flamingos.
Yeah, that whole Gloria Estefan Miami sound machine going on. Got you into the mood. They're directed by Michael Mann, who made the movie Heat. You know, so you can feel that darkness.
Michael Mann done that.
Yeah, it's Michael Mann series. You know, that cocaine tasting cop show. You know, loved it.
It was groundbreaking. I wanted to choose that, but you listening to you lot talk about V, it's made me think, no, I really like V.
But Miami Vice was just cool. As you said, it had the music, it had the rolled up sleeves, the chinos. That was all cool. They even used the music for a Nat West advert. Remember Crockett's theme was used for a Nat West advert back in the day. No. They rinsed it. But hey, So, but I've got to go with V. Just you guys are saying, you know, it was sci-fi, everything wanted. So it's V for me.
So you lot Jedi mind trip me for V, man. I was gonna go Miami Vice, but after listening to them first two, it's like, man, how could you not go for V? Was everything we wanted.
So it's all about V. It's unanimous. We all choose V, the visitors from outer space that have come to take over disguised as humans. It could be true.
Yeah, so V stood for victory.
Oh, it stood for visitors. That's it. Okay.
Victory and visitors. That's what it stood for.
Is the original. It's the visitors.
They will tell you, the narrators will tell you after every episode, V stands for victory and visitors.
I don't remember that. Anyway.
I do.
So,
do you remember Star Child?
Who?
Star Child?
What are you talking about now?
In V. Half alien, half human.
No, she was Elizabeth.
Thank you.
That was her name. Her name was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yeah.
Star Child.
Her name was Elizabeth. But she was Elizabeth. So her name was Elizabeth.
Yeah. Elizabeth, yeah.
Star Child. That was her name. Which was Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But V stands for victory and visitors. Next.
All I've got, you know what? All I've got to say to you, Leroy, get the fuck out of here.
Sacked in the morning. Getting sacked in the morning. I prefer the boys are back in town. That's what I prefer.
Anyway, let's continue with the Old School Movements podcast. And I can't get over the fact that Leroy despises Beverly Hills Cop. The way he spoke about it with Venom, it's fair enough saying, "Oh no, it wasn't my type of film." He went in on it, and it really doesn't make sense to me. And half of planet Earth don't understand either.
Darren,
and had the nerve to tilt to me about cornfield.
Yeah, seriously, your ratings have gone down. They've gone down, bro. It's like hard, higher, lower, lower.
Listen, I'm not having you lot have.
Leroy didn't play his cards right.
The whole listeners.
Price ain't right. That come out this year.
Price is Right.
Did it? Price is Right. Oh, I love that program.
Did it?
Yeah, that was good because you always had a chance of seeing a bit of titty on it.
Wow.
You know when one flew out. You know when one flew out when they were running down the stairs. It's like, oh, I'm gonna watch this just in case you get a flash.
That was not the reason I was watching it.
I was the colour TV. I wanted a soda stream. I wanted a sofa.
I wanted some nipples.
Chris wanted nips.
Early, man.
Wow.
Titties.
It was one of them you never saw. You slide tit on that show now.
Forget Bruce. Forget Brucey.
That was
the bonus.
That was the bonus. So Bachelor Party, Catalogue, Price is Right.
Come on down.
Wow, come on down.
Yeah, but did we have Kenny Everett and Benny Hill?
They're already out.
They're already out. We needed something new.
Chris needed something new.
Yeah, exactly. We needed a new thrill. That was old thrill. We needed a new thrill.
Chris needed something fresh.
You know. Yeah. So yeah.
Too funny.
Let's get into the. As we said, the 80s was full of great movies. And in the 80s, with great movies came great movie soundtracks. We've done a podcast about movie soundtracks, but this is 1984's soundtrack, exclusive to 1984. So, mate, we had stuff like Footloose soundtrack.
Yeah.
We had Electric Dreams. Remember that?
Yep.
Electric Dreams.
Yeah, that was
Electric Dreams. As you guys were saying earlier on, we had
Never Ending Story.
Yeah, Never Ending Story. I didn't like that song, but
but it went with the film. So it's sort of
yeah.
Weren't one of the best, but with the film, it was like okay,
Lamar,
because it felt like. It felt like you're watching a TV show. You know, like you had, let's pretend, build the whole world. Never ending story. It all went together.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Those sing-alongs. We also had Woman in Red soundtrack. And that was that. I Just Called to Say I Love You came off that movie. I didn't know that at the time. Yes. when I was
when
little.
you said it then, I was thinking, what was
Did
that?
it? Yeah, it was from The Woman in Red, because Stevie Wonder done the majority of that album. The theme tune, The Woman in Red, The Woman in Red, The Woman.
Yeah.
He done that.
You remember?
Yeah. And I Just Called to Say I Love You was from the soundtrack Woman in Red. I loved that film, Woman in Red.
That was a good soundtrack. Though.
Hey,
and there was some sneaky. That was edgy. There was a sneaky bit of edge.
That was edgy.
There was a bit. Me and Chris paused. And Chris this is why Chris edits now, because he was like, his cut. That bit we got.
I know exactly.
Yeah. Chris found the right frame
exactly which part.
when he was bloody 6 years old. He found the right frame.
You have to get the tracking right.
Mate.
I think the scene was on the waterbed, right, Chris?
Mate, yeah.
when she got ready,
Yeah.
when she got prepared,
Oh,
ready.
my God.
And then you felt sorry for flipping Gene Wilder because there was a knock on the door. Honey, I'm home.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Has he seen this recently? I've forgotten about it.
But the mad thing about that, Leroy, is even as a kid, I was fuming for him.
Yeah.
I was fuming. And he was on the bloody window ledge. Hearing her getting busy.
As a,
with her husband.
As a kid, I was like, oh. Because
I was fuming.
Because
I was fuming for him.
Because she was in Weird Science, and
she was hot.
Kelly LeBrock, guys,
Wow.
and she was the woman of the 80s, Woman in Red.
She was hot.
She was the movie Woman of the 80s.
The Woman in Red,
mate. So yeah,
wicked film.
I Just Cause I Love You. I'm a massive Stevie Wonder fan, but that song wasn't my song, but it was played. I remember it being on Top of the Pops for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
It was awful. I hated that song.
As a kid, because we had hip hop's coming in, all this stuff. I mean, this came.
I just call.
And the thing is,
the
video. The thing about that time, right, is that all those Motown artists started to make pop tunes, and now they weren't making soul tunes. It's like the equivalent of what we see now when we go, oh, no, they're commercial now. You know how we had that experience? Oh, no, I don't listen to that commercial. You know, whatever artist makes the tune. But and that was one of them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it was terrible, man. It was toilet.
But listening to that song again and hearing the lyrics, it's a smart song. Listen to it again.
It's a smart song.
It's a smart song.
But it wasn't. And the thing is, when you used to hear it in the morning when you had to go to school, that's what I think it annoyed me so much. Because I used to wake up to that song, and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, man. I just called to say what?
Get up. I gotta get up.
Because calls were big in the 80s, like ET phone dome, phone cards are out. Everyone's calling. Inspector Gadget had a hair on his finger. Busby was massive. Busby was hench with his yellow vest. But
Maureen Lipman with her BT
it's
advert.
good to talk. Yellow Pages. It was talk. People were calling a lot.
J.R. Hartley.
People were calling a lot. I'm on my mobile. But,
there was no mobiles in those days.
You had a bloody brick, didn't you?
The big, massive
the brick one.
The late 80s,
batteries.
So we also had the Ghostbusters soundtrack, obviously with the hit Ghostbusters.
Who gone call?
Ray Parker Jr. But there was these are the same. The movies came out with the soundtrack, so they sold together. I remember the soundtrack will come out first before the movie. You look at the back of the tape or the album. You see clips of the film and get excited. That'll get you warmed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to like that.
But what we're going to do now, Nick? We're going to pick two albums. We haven't mentioned them yet, but these two movies were big movies in their own right. Big movies. One was a debut from an artist who was just starting to kill the scene, the rival to Mr. MJ. And he brought out a movie with an album that just catapulted him into the greatness of music. We're battling that, that album with another movie that hit the scene. Breakdancing was coming in. It was big. Beat Street was around. Crush Groove, Wild Style. But this movie was more commercial, but it had a wicked soundtrack. And that movie is Breakdance. So we're putting Breakdance up against Breaking to the people in the US, up against Prince's Purple Rain. Now, guys, wait a minute, right? You could go straight to say, oh, it's one or the other. But let me just tell you, right, that Prince's Purple Rain had When Doves Cry on it. Geese, if you will.
Woo!
Let's Go Crazy.
Yeah. Had Let's Go Crazy.
I remember it from that.
And it had I Would Die
Raspberry
For You.
Beret.
No, it had and I Would Die For You. So they're the tunes to muddle over. Yeah. When Doves Cry, Purple Rain.
Purple Rain went too
Doves
bad.
Cry.
It went too bad. Yeah.
When Doves Cry, I Would Die For You. Right. There's 4 I've said from that. Right.
And Take Me With You. That was it. 5 tracks. That was the whole
Right.
album, I think.
And here's breakdance or breaking. Right. So you can
Got
choose
some tunes.
Ain't Nobody.
There's no stopping.
Ain't No Stopping Us.
Ollie and Jerry.
You can choose Tour de France, or you can choose Boogie Down. And to get my boogie down. Remember we interviewed Turbo and he took that scene. Get my boogie. From Al Jarreau, Some Fly By Night. So he was excited in breakdance when he went low and mellow for Moonlighting. So saying that, Prince's When Doves Cry, massive album, massive tunes, MTV, all over the place. Geese, if you will, on his motorcycle, you saw that, Purple Rain, Doves Cry. So, Chris, what are you saying, man? What would you choose? Breakdance album,
Easy one for me.
or Prince's Doves Cry? Even hearing those tunes there, it's still an easy one for you.
Easy one for me, because I weren't too big into Prince, to be honest. I like the odd tune. I liked Let's Go Crazy. Out of all of them lot, probably Let's Go Crazy is my favourite out of that lot.
So when you first heard When Doves Cry, you didn't.
I weren't feeling when Doves Cry. This was like he'd done a good few albums before this, innit? But this was the first
for the
one that went
soundtrack.
with the film, the first soundtrack. Yeah. So I weren't. These were different. These were like a lot more popified compared to other Prince stuff. So I weren't too keen on Purple Rain. But it's one of them for me. It's one of them albums that has grown over the years. And looking back on it, you see how important it was and why it come out when it did. Yeah. But at the time, I was loving breakdancing. I was loving watching it, loving doing it, and I love every track on that soundtrack. And I must have listened to it on my Walkman hundreds of times, I think, and as well probably danced to half of them in front of a mirror or together, probably practicing popping and locking into some of them tunes. So for me, it's got to be breaking, man. It means more to me personally than what Prince did. But I respect Prince for that album, and I know how big her album that is. 2-time Grammy and Oscar award winning album. But I'm going breaking. I love breaking, man.
You got to big up Prince because, he's a phenomenal artist. Like you said, at that time. And then what I forgot about when you said Tour de France.
That didn't make the soundtrack officially though, because that was on Kraftwerk.
It didn't make soundtrack officially.
It was Kraftwerk's album.
But I just put it on there because it's part of the experience of breakdance, isn't it?
And it's weird you lot saying this. So I downloaded a lot of these tunes maybe about 2 years ago. I was thinking, what am I missing out of my electro days and my old hip hop days? And I downloaded both of these, and I realised, hold on, it's missing. So I had to download that off a Kraftwerk's album and add it onto my own breaking album, if you know what I mean. It needs to be there. It's got to be there. But yeah, it's got some
Tour de France is a big
wicked tune.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
So you're saying breakdance?
Yeah.
All dates. Yeah. Chris, what did you say?
I'm going to
Shaka Khan, ain't no stopping us. Come on.
There's another tune called Street People that I used to really like on it as well.
I didn't like that song.
Street People.
Yeah, I didn't like that song.
It was just proper 80s. It had that DeBarge sort of sound, all of the tunes.
Leroy, what are you saying?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with Chris on this one because...
Not with Stacks?
Not well, Mr. Kellogg's cornflakes.
There's still a grudge.
I've still got a grudge. How many episodes later? So we'll talk later, my friend. Man, Breaking was that movie, man, and it had so many tracks that I could play today. And look,
still
Doves Cry,
yeah,
Raspberry Beret, and and all those Prince songs. I respect them. But I just got to go with breaking, man.
Yeah. No,
can I get my job back?
No. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
That's a relief.
I totally agree because I agree with all of you. It's like the breakdance album is,
it's a phenomenal album, man.
Don't get me wrong. The Prince Purple Rain album is a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives, and just how the breakdance is a soundtrack to a lot of people's lives at a certain point in time. So yeah, 2 massive albums, 2 massive films. As you say, Chris, the Purple Rain film won Academy Awards and Grammys and Oscars,
yeah,
and it blew Prince up. Prince was here to stay. So Eddie Murphy in movies, Prince in popular music. And you know, we had so many TV shows. You know, I would say the arrival of V and Automan and all these Transformers. So much happened in 1984. But have we got a last tipple to give them, Chris, of 1984? A last bit.
There was one more thing that was kind of sad in that 1984. It was the year they decided to withdraw the £1 note.
Ooh.
The £1 note.
I love the £1 note. It didn't actually get phased out to 88, but it was 84 when they said, right, no more printing, no more dishing them out. We're going to start getting them all back now and swapping them for these stupid little round gold coins.
Yeah. The death of
stupid.
The pound. Yes.
I hated the coins.
The pound note was something you felt like a big boy if you had £4 notes in your back pocket.
Yeah, no, for real.
You could flick them out. You could flick them out and start counting through it.
We were used to getting a 10p. We used to getting a 50p.
Yeah, and it's you remember when you got a new one, a crisp one, a crisp pound note. It was nothing like
Felt
it.
like you robbed the bank.
Yeah, you fold that, and it was you took that to Wimpy. For me, when I've got a pound, it's either Star Wars figures or a brown bread £4 Wimpy.
Yeah.
I'm going into Wimpy with my money, you know, because you know, like a Wimpy burger was like numbers were odd in the 80s. A Wimpy burger was like £1.38. Why isn't it just £1.40?
Yeah.
£1.38. Do you know what I mean? And I remember giving him £2 notes and seeing that change in my hand, but it was all worth it. Pound notes, Wimpy, you were amazing. Love the pound note, love the Wimpy. Wimpy money, I call it pound notes.
Just Wimpy money.
Wimpy money.
Notes,
that's all it gets spent.
Seriously, a tango or
And
Fanta.
what colour were the pound notes, for those who don't know?
They were green, man.
Green and white, weren't they?
Had the green and white pounds.
They were blue for a good few years, right up until the late 70s, and then the ones that we know got changed to green in 77, and obviously started fading them out in 74. But I think they introduced the pound note back in the what was it, 18th century, 17 something. They first got introduced, and they were literally handwritten white bits of paper. And if you've got one of them now, these are the ones that are selling for crazy amounts of money at the moment.
How big the notes were back in the day?
Handwritten bit
They were big, they were big, handwritten.
They were massive. They were like A4.
Yeah, nothing written on the back, just written on one side only.
But then the blue ones turned into £5 notes, isn't it?
Yeah,
£5 notes.
Yeah. So saying that, guys, it was the end of the pound note in 1984, and we had to deal with these heavy ass coins in our pockets. It's jingling, baby. Fuck that shit. In my back pocket. I love the tune, by the way, LL, but I didn't want things jingling in my pockets. I wanted a crisp note. So that's why we're pitting the pound note versus the pound coin.
It's got to be the pound note.
Got to be the pound note. I haven't seen old Isaac. Was it Isaac Newton, wasn't it? Isaac Newton was on one side, Queen on the other.
I think it was unanimous.
We weren't at the age where we could start work. So I remember when I first started work, I used to get paid weekly, and it was like a gyro check, and I'd have to take that check to the post office. I worked in Fulham at the time. I remember going to a post office in Fulham and getting it changed, and I used to say I want it all in fivers because I wanted a nice stack of notes in it as first job. So imagine that.
Flick through.
Imagine if that was pound notes then, like when we were first started work. It would have been wicked. It would have been wicked.
Yeah.
So like you said, Darren, we were so used to getting a 50p or 20p's weren't even about. It was the 10s and the 10p piece, 50p piece. You'd get given that to go get some sweets, and occasionally you'd get the pound note, and that felt special.
That was so special spender. Because remember we were little, so and adults like looking down to you with this green piece of paper towards you. It's like, pal.
Well, your granny had handed it to you like a drug dealer, one of them ones.
Yeah, on a slide, innit?
Yeah, try and
slip it.
Yeah, don't tell your mum. And he's a Yorkie too. Quickly, go on.
Yeah.
Now, be the kid, you're bothering me. Yeah, that mate. Pound notes, seriously. Yeah. So, is it unanimous? Is it pound notes all the way?
That's nostalgic, man. You've brought me back.
When the coins come out, everyone loved it that it had ET stamped on the side. That's all I can remember. Remember everyone was like, "I got ET, like it's got ET on the side." Like, okay, what's good about that? And now they've changed them again. Obviously, now they've gone to nickel and copper, and they've got the 12 edges now to Because they were getting counterfeited. Them little coins were stupid when they first come out.
Do you remember there was a time where people used to go to arcade machines? But then when pound coins come in, you could put pound coins in arcade machines. And there was a thing, if you got like a 20p piece and a 5p piece,
wrapped it in foil or something.
or glued them together or something.
Yeah.
And it was the same weight as a pound coin.
Yeah. You get extra credits and shit. You get 40p and you're getting the pounds of credits.
Yeah.
I think that's why they bought that new one in a few years ago.
Who wasn't behind that? Was you, Darren?
Everyone give it a try.
Because you seem to know that very well.
A friend told me.
Yeah.
Because there's the same trick you could do in the phone box as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Same sort of trick in the phone box.
2p and a bit of foil.
Yeah. Just.
Are you listening to this, ladies and gentlemen? All these criminals. Their criminal activities.
I think
exposing themselves.
They're loopholes. Criminals, just loopholes in the system.
Oh man.
Yeah, those were the days.
So I'm a pound note man, definitely pound notes. And I'm not great with these new polymer plastic things that we've got now. I miss paper. I know you could damage them. I know you could rip them and whatnot, and you could go swimming with them, but it ain't often I go swimming with a note. So I'm fine with just paper ones. I miss the pound notes.
Did you guys ever make that mistake, as you're saying, because of the old notes? Mistakenly had them in the washing machine. Oh my god!
Yes.
Put it on the radiator
that was
to dry out.
That
bad.
was worse.
That's the only reason a pound coin would save that situation.
It break the washing machine.
Rather it do that than smash up my pound. Ain't my money buying a washing machine.
You can still get your wimpy burger.
Yeah,
exactly.
Brown bread, quarter pounder, mate. Not messing around. And chips. Remember, Wimpy had chips, not fries.
They're good chips. Their fish and chips still in a box was good. I love their fish and chips.
The little sachet, of
bit of vinegar.
Yeah, but a sachet of vinegar. Remember that? Sachets of vinegar.
In the box with a knife and fork, all wrapped up nicely.
In a box. Like you were buying shoes.
It was, it was like a pair of shoes. Like you're buying a pair of Jordans.
It was a red box. It said Wimpy in white. It was mate, it was designer. It was good.
No, it's true.
It was a good box. And
you felt special when you went to Wimpy.
I don't know if they still sell that.
They opened their arms to you. They said come in. Because McDonald's said like, here's what material was that box?
We want you in and out quick time.
polystyrene.
Polystyrene,
that
was polystyrene.
They gave you that.
Remember
and
that?
just said, get out of here, take this box and go. And they even made the seats uncomfortable for kids. Why make seats uncomfortable? Those curved C's that you tried to sit on. They were too high. You could have.
It was hard
to do some yoga position to get on it. Like
you had to do parkour to sit down in McDonald's when you were little because the seats were different.
It's true.
Tough. They were tough seats, man.
Wimpy was standard.
They didn't want you to stay there for long.
And the thing is, they sat you with like bums and tramps. To make people. You wanted to sit on the fun seats. You were sitting next to tramps, smoking cigarettes.
Smokers.
Why would they do that to
kids? People with lumps on their head and stuff, man.
Yeah, if you don't want to have fun, you got to sit next to people with lumps on their head.
The person with the egghead.
Yeah, piss-stained jackets. You know, like the jacket in Terminator 1 that Reese wore. Yeah. People wearing those jackets with bags, 1,000 bags in their hand.
Every McDonald's
Financial Times, smoking a cigarette. As a kid,
McDonald's got one. You wouldn't get that in Wimpy.
How could you eat a burger next to that?
The jacket that Reese wore.
How could you eat a burger next to that? That was your option as a kid. But Wimpy, open arms, said, "Look, have a plate, have a knife, have a fork,
civilized,
have a cup, have a Knickerbocker Glory,
have a tomato ketchup squirty,
have a novelty tomato ketchup." And if you want to go home with it, we'll wrap it up for you. We'll fold the wrapper and wrap it up for you nice. Do you want to eat healthy? We got brown bread. Do you want to? Hey, they were the first vegan shop. They had the bean burger. Remember that?
Yeah, the bean burger was good.
The spicy bean burger. We weren't eating bean burgers. Who was making bean burgers in the 80s?
Wimpy was. That's it.
Yeah,
only them.
Wimpy were.
We need to do a podcast about Wimpy versus McDonald's. You know?
Who was making brown bread burgers? No one else from Wimpy.
No,
special
no one
sauce.
No one.
You know what I mean? For me, Wimpy. Like, look. The evolution.
Wimpy was.
The evolution was for me. It was the quarter pounder brown bread, the Big Mac, and then the Whopper. They came in stages for me. They all tasted great, but I still hold a place in my heart for the
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 king
brown
size.
bread.
Theirs was the king size.
King
as well,
size was
wasn't it?
good, but I didn't like tomatoes. So the brown bread burger from Wimpy was for me, man. Amazing experience, and that was what the pound hot did for me. So there, 1984, guys.
1984. What a year.
Wimpy reminds me of luncheon vouchers. Remember the odd time I'd get a luncheon voucher?
You could, yeah, because
You could use
exactly.
them in there.
They were welcoming as well on the front.
Yeah.
LV.
They were like a little pound note.
Yeah.
We take LVs. Come on, man.
Luncheon vouchers, you know. Bloody hell. Things you don't see today.
They were handy for Wimpy.
We take
definitely.
LVs. Mr. Wimpy was happy to take an LV from you, man.
Yeah.
And happier to take abuse on a Saturday morning as well.
When you just bumped into him on the high street, yeah.
I don't know why he didn't wear shin pads the second weekend, because his shins were getting bruised every weekend. But he had these big like Uggs, well, Crocs. He wore like Croc kind of shoes, and you would step on his feet. Why were we so bad to this guy? He was just trying to bring us joy, bring us that. Remember that puzzle, that square puzzle where you slotted them all in.
Slotted them over. Wimpy had really good giveaway toys. I
Really
must admit,
good, for free.
They had some good
Balloons,
giveaway toys.
badges with mirror. Look at the badge, and you can see yourself on the other side.
I still
They had a
got
whole
one,
collection of badges, didn't they? Used to collect the Wimpy badges.
Football, like football Italian ones, and
Olympic ones, yeah.
Spaniel, like mate.
Yeah.
They looked after us, and he took the abuse.
I think the reason he got it is because he had that big hamburger nose, and you couldn't help but want to punch it. It's like as soon as you saw him coming up to you, and he's that massive nose, you just give it one like. I don't know.
It
That's why he took so much abuse.
It was like the free version of that thing at the fun fair that you press the button, it comes down, and you smack it. You didn't need that. You just had Mr. Wimpy's nose. But Mr. Wimpy, if you're watching, we're so sorry. We're so sorry, Mr. Wimpy.
The wonder your nose is fat.
Sorry, Mr. Wimpy, we love you.
Troublesome you.
But sorry, we attacked you. You had a fork on you.
Self-defense.
You had a massive fork, and he still didn't do anything. So that's your fault. You let kids kick you in the shins. You should have worn shin pads.
You lot were little rascals.
Yeah, we were. But the burgers were good.
I'd love to hear from someone that was Mr. Wimpy and let them tell us this story about how he used to get beat up on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
That would make it.
Any employees from 80s Wimpys out there who used to have to dress up and walk the high streets as Mr. Wimpy. Contact
as Mr. Wimpy.
We will apologise, but we'd like to chat to you as well.
Mr. Wimpy. Wimpy Burgers, we love you. So, guys, that wraps up 1984. What a great year for entertainment and movies. What a great year. There's so much more that went on. But, you know, we wanted to fit in what we love the most of that year. We'll be coming back with more years. We'll be going anywhere, any year. So be prepared on the greatest podcast. What is it again, Leary? What do you call this podcast again?
The world's best podcast.
The world's best podcast, guys.
Yes.
Again, we want to thank everybody around the world for listening. We love you all. People in Columbus, Ohio, love you guys. Thanks for listening. And everyone
worldwide.
Yep. And remember, Patreon episodes are about as well. So if you want to jump on and hear more madness from us join us on Patreon and listen to more craziness from the Old School Movements podcast. Guys, thank you all. I'm Mr. Lucas.
I'm Chris.
I'm Stacks.
And I am the one getting sacked in the morning, Leroy.
The last dragon.
So it's fun having you. We have a leaving party. No, we won't. We'll have a new co-host on the show, the next show, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, and we're out. Any last words, Leroy?
Goodbye.
See you later, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Those were the days I remember.